night. Big man on the cut.
So this is what I was saying. I think it's clear to say, because let's be honest, Drake's dropped like 11 verses since this battle. Hasn't it been like 11 verses? I think I read that somewhere. Maybe wrong, but he's dropped an ungodly amount. And clearly now I see what's happening is Drake, I think, if you ask me, is trying to see what sticks. I think that's why a lot of his old features, like the one with Benny the Butcher or the Cabela ones, are popping up too. Is because I think he's just trying to empty out the clip. He said it in No Face. I'm empty out the clip, see what they want, and we gonna make more of that. I think it's a moment where, because things aren't working for him the way they used to, he's not charting the way he used to, and clearly his sitting in the culture is way not where it used to. The No Face song I like as like a rapping song. I've always thought he needs to rap. So let's get into this. This is more like the regular Drake stuff. I do wonder why Drake has dropped like an album's worth of verses already, but let's go.
Big nigga over her night. Big man on the cut. How many doors of this shirt? How many feathers they cut? That day like a sleeping pattern, cause how the fuck I'm still up? Yeah, niggas don't speak my language.
Oh, this beat's stupid.
Niggas don't speak my language.
Ooh, I like that.
Niggas don't speak my language. Yeah. How the fuck I'm still up? Yeah, niggas don't speak my language. Niggas don't speak my language.
I like that. I like that. Cool. I like that. Niggas don't speak my language. It's enough melody where it's in that right pocket where I don't think Drake is the greatest singer. I never have. But he's not, it's not offensive, so he's not going in a range where he clearly is not supposed to be in. It's not too high, not too low, it's perfectly. And the earworm of the melody. In my language. I really think if Drake gets a bit more introspective, and I don't mean like he drops a goddamn Mr. Morale, but I think the whole angling myself is I'm gonna hit record my way out of the slump I'm in, or I'm going to just swag my way out of this, or stunt my way out of this, or numbers my way, is not gonna work. The temperature's different. You gotta really win people back by people liking you again. That's what it is to the people who because there's a whole group of people think you're a PDF file, bro. Like, you gotta, you know what I mean? I don't think you're gonna get them back, but like, you know what I mean? I think you're gonna make yourself more personable, more human.
How the fuck I'm still up? Writing names on the list, baby. 7-8 candles a leak, baby. Try the machine a week, baby. Problems are there to get fixed, baby. Tell me something for your trip, baby. Going invisible ain't gonna fix, baby.
Yeah, baby. Who's he rapping like? Me, baby. I'm not on my T, baby. I'm not on my O, baby. Oh my God. Bro, that is somebody's flow, 100%. No, me, baby. It's not D-Lo, that's not D. Let's go. No, me, baby. I feel like it was one of them XXL freshman niggas. Is it Rob 49? I don't know, I've heard this even with the baby. No, eat, baby. No, eat, baby. It sounds good here, but
Problems are there to get fixed, baby. Tell me something for your trip, baby. Going invisible ain't gonna fix, baby. Wanna turn you to a housewife and you never had to clean a dish, baby.
okay.
Yeah, baby, everyone good. How many posts I wrote? How much gold I struck? Hey, how many funeral days?
I also think Drake is in all of these songs are gonna be addressing this stuff, because even this is technically like, nigga, I'm still up. It don't matter what they're saying, I'm still up. How many records have I hit? Wrote, how many gold have I got? How good you remember I'm still up. So I think that's it's like an affirmation, like he's telling himself this in the mirror.
How many funeral days they plan for me and I got it like a truck? Yeah, that game like my sleeping pattern, cause how the fuck I'm still up? Yeah, niggas don't speak my language. Niggas don't speak my language.
I like this. I like this song.
Niggas don't speak my language. Yeah. How the fuck I'm still up?
With the stuff Drake has been dropping too, I think it's kind of easy for him to drop a song right now that makes me feel, because I think Drake's dropped some of his worst material this summer. With the Wagwan, the Lilas, the Camilla, some of the stuff that just doesn't feel the same. And I will say there is a weirdness about how Drake records just don't feel the way they used to. And maybe it's because now he's releasing them on his Finstas or leaking them and then seeing what people think about it before he releases it, like the diss track. And there's something that stripped away some of the confidence, I feel like, of just dropping it on your channel, dropping it on the DSPs, dropping it where it's just like, it's low-key like he's been dropping a mixtape all summer, but if that's the way you look at it, it's probably one of his weakest bodies of work. If you put everything he did, all the verses he did this summer together, it's probably like one of his weaker body of works, but there's something about how this just don't hit. And yeah, like I said, it's probably the rollout, because it just don't hit the same when you're not like, bang, you know, with it.
How the fuck I'm still up? Yeah, niggas don't speak my language. Niggas don't speak my fuck I'm still up. Yeah, niggas don't speak my language.
They're not speaking his language.
My language. Okay. Niggas don't speak my language. Yeah. How the fuck I'm still up?
Yeah, that was Circadian Rhythm. That was cool. You know, it reminds me of, it makes me feel like, okay, of what I've been hearing of Drake lately since the battle, it's made me feel like, okay, I feel like that was better than most of the stuff on the 100 gigs, the 3 songs. So let's get into this last song, SOD. And I thought Playboi Carti was on that other song. I don't know who their feature is. I read the features list before, and I thought he was on. But anyway, this is SOD, Let's Go. So all of these songs, if you ask me, have thematically been addressing what Drake's been going through, which I said he has to do. It really has to. But I don't think the temperature on him is going to change till Kendrick drops. I really don't. And, sorry to keep pausing, but depending on how Kendrick drops, Kendrick has the ability to make it eternal smoke for Drake, or just, all right, so he could have it where if Kendrick doubles down on his album, it's going to be eternal smoke for Drake. If Kendrick leaves him alone and doesn't do any sneak deals or anything, which I almost think is physically impossible, it's going to hurt Drake and he's going to be scarred. But if he just leaves it alone, I mean, yeah, if he doesn't say he's going to hurt him and be scarred, but it's not going to be as bad. But let's go. Let's see. Sorry about that. SOD. So we got rapping on both of them. A little bit more melodic on the last one. Makes me feel like it's going to be melodic.
I'm watching the moves playing the king. What's up? Days is a matching coat. Just so big, feel like a boat. I'm watching the moves playing the king. SOD. What's up? She was a hoe, but I ain't no duck, so I was way before.
Okay, yeah, there's more in the vein of the Drake that I'm not a huge. And it's weird because some of my favorite songs of Drake are Best I Ever Had. Like, and I know nostalgia has a lot to do with that. Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Drake has a lot of moments of me growing up that are scored by Drake. Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. I really do like Drake. It's not that I like Drake more when he's rapping, but there became a certain point where, like, and I liked his singing, but there became a certain point where the singing, and it felt like it was right around, just hold on, we're going home, where the singing started being like, wait, nigga, do you think you can sing something? Because before it felt like, oh, I know I can't sing, but I'm a crooner, I'm gonna give you a crazy melody. At a certain point, it started feeling like, wait, you think you can sing something? And that's where, but with this is feeling more of the stuff I'm like, less of a fan of from Drake. But it's not even that I'm less of a fan of it, it's just like super repetitive. Like we get it from Drake so often. Cinderella. Rolling back with my enemies inside. Yeah. Nigga, just understand, nigga, I look up for revenge. It's never gonna stop attacking these niggas. Or shooting back. Which I'm not mad at.
Say come at home and give me that good express. Watching the moves and playing the clothes. Days is a matching coat.
Okay.
On a jet, feel like a boat, staying afloat. Watching the moves playing the clothes. What's up? She was a hoe, but I ain't gon' tell her 'cause that was way before. Grind on me, grind on me. Love it when you pressing that behind on me, holding.
Yeah, it's just where I feel like 2 summers ago, it's not even it just feels like a real throwaway song where it's just like, okay, all right. But there's something post the battle that makes these songs where before I just be like, and I'd skip it on the album. Now it feels like, it feels worse. Yeah, it feels just like, it feels more soulless. This feels more soulless. It feels more like these type of random, like we just crooning about a stripper bitch. This is why I always call it these type of Drake songs, the crooning stripper bitches songs, because that's just basically what they are. But that's Drake's little bag too, so he's gonna always feed the people. And he gave us 3 songs, so.
Love it when you pressing that behind on me, holding everybody, cause they won't find it on me. You said I can't dance,
Oh, never mind.
9 on me.
Wait, you the one holding the straps? You don't find on you? Oh, damn, you just told on yourself, man. Let me find out Drake the Mule, man. He getting the slammies in, man. God damn, okay.
See how you rolling out, girl. Feel it in your shit when you holding top, girl. Who am I? Who am I? You know that it's a big time eater. Mr. Not sleeping, these late night creeping. Both feeling like this, all of that creeping. You know I'm a dog, I'm a hard pass demon. Said you wanna ride, I'm like, hey.
I'm a dog, I'm a hall pass demon. A hall pass in a relationship means like you could smash somebody without any problem or whatever. Yeah, it just, to me, these shits don't be hitting anymore. Like, this shit feels vapid, especially when I feel like the song that he's rapping is content is a lot more contentful because he's speaking on what's going on. And the last couple songs speaking on what's going on in his life, and this one just feels like a for all the dogs throwaway.
Okay, shawty wanna ride at the pussy. Shawty wanna ride at the pussy. Shawty wanna ride at the pussy. I'm watching the moves playing it cool. SOD, super soap. Rainy days, his and hers, matching coat. Just so we feeling the moves, I'm watching the moves playing it cool.
It feels repetitive too.
She was a hoe, but I ain't no judge. That was way before.
Feels like a 20-second loop that just kept looping itself. Not a fan of that song. Maybe it'll grow on me in time, but and it's not that I don't like Drake songs like that because I really do. It's just that as of late they don't feel the same way. I feel like when Drake was coming up, he was really singing and rapping about girls that broke his heart in high school and shit like that, and getting back and he was more close to that actual heartbreak and stuff. But I feel like when Drake became Drizzy Drake Champagne Poppy, there's a bit of insecurity and being that like little nerdy, losery guy-ish. I'm not saying Drake was a loser, but if you look at like the earlier pictures where like a geek kind of, there's something that was endearing when he got bigger and he was like, oh, you know, she told me to not play she, you know, told me shut off my music, start playing Ludacris. And I guess when I was younger in high school or closer attached to that, it resonated with me more. But the older I get, I feel like it doesn't resonate with me as much. But the biggest problem is I feel like it doesn't really resonate with Drake as much. Because when Drake can have any girl that he wants and ooh-op the bam and he's the biggest rapper, these songs don't hit the same way. It just feels like, yeah, Drake, this is just one of your 100 dishes that you with. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. Wasn't a fan of that. I like the one where he was rapping and saying he won round 2. You tell me what your favorite song of these. And if you ever gonna check out my reaction, right before this is the one where he's saying he wants a round 2 with everybody. So let's see what's going. Maybe a round 2's coming.
I've taken a map of the entire United States where only one team will be standing by the end of the video, and if you've never seen an Imperialism before, let me explain how this map will go from 134 teams to just one. Each round, I'll spin this team wheel to land on a college, and then I'll spin this directional wheel to decide where they attack. Let's say Kansas attacks Kansas State, and they end up beating them. The Jayhawks would get to take all of the Wildcats' territory because the loser is always eliminated, and the winner gets all of their land as a reward. Remember, we're going to be doing this until we're down to just one college left, and it is time to start the first Imperialism on College Football 25. I've been waiting to do this. We have Ollie Gordon and Oklahoma State attacking off the bat. They're going up north, and this is a crazy first matchup. I just used Kansas as my example. At least they're going to get the home field advantage in this one, and it's taken place in their renovated stadium that was just added to the game. How I like to do this is just watch the final about minute of the game. Kansas has the ball down 6, and we've never had a college football Imperialism where the computer's actually smart, but as I'm saying that, Jalen Daniels has thrown an interception. Oklahoma State's taking it back, and I think they're going to win. It would take a real miracle for Kansas to come back down 12 with 8 seconds left, but now there's a chance that they could recover this onside kick. The Oklahoma State player misses it, but someone else picks it up. Alan Bowman's going to lead the Cowboys to a huge win, or maybe that's more of Ollie Gordon's doing. He had a pretty good stat line. We now have to do that same process 133 more times until we know the best college in the country, and this is different than any of the ones we've done before because there's 8 new teams, including Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, UMass, UConn, and others. Of the 8 new colleges, Liberty probably has the best chance at making a deep run, and so far we've gotten some big programs. Tennessee just got landed on, which means they're attacking, but they're going for Middle Tennessee State. They clearly have the overall advantage on the Blue Raiders, so I would have never thought Middle Tennessee State would have a lead at the end of the game. With just 57 seconds left, Nico's going to have to lead the Volunteers down the field, and on 2nd and 10 after almost throwing an interception, this time he's going to find a receiver that takes it inside the red zone. As a Kentucky fan, I don't want Tennessee to win, but it seems like they probably will. All they have to do is get into the end zone, and they just did. Never mind, apparently that football was dropped. So all of a sudden, it is 3rd and 10, and Tennessee's going to throw an interception. The Volunteers are going to lose to Middle Tennessee State on the road. That is a pick 6 for Nico. And this makes me so happy to see. I cannot believe they just pulled off this upset. These are the results that we watch college football Imperialism for, though. And I actually feel bad for Tennessee fans because they either make a deep run in Imperialism or they get put out super early every single time. Nicholas Vadatillo is the legend that got the win for the Blue Raiders. And this gives my Wildcats a bit better of a chance because now we don't have to run into the risk of playing against the Volunteers. If I've noticed anything about this new game, it's that these results are more chaotic than the last one. And NCAA Football 14 was already wild enough, but you have to be kidding me. The wheel landed on Louisville, and of course they're going to play against Kentucky. So we're getting this Governor's Cup matchup just 3 games in. I love the fact that it takes place at Kroger Field, though. This gives the Wildcats a good chance. And the fact that with a minute left on the clock, we're trailing by 5 is just crazy. Kentucky's won like 4 of their last 5 games against Louisville. They're taking forever to spike the ball. And with no timeouts left, 32 seconds on the clock, I don't feel good. They're hurrying up to the line with 15 seconds left. I don't get what's taking so long. But the computer doesn't seem to be very urgent at the moment, and they need to be. It shouldn't be showing the cheerleaders right now because Kentucky's not going to get off another snap, and that means we've been eliminated just 3 games in. If I've learned anything, it's that I shouldn't have been so happy for Tennessee's loss, and I'll be rooting for upsets only for the rest of Imperialism. Oklahoma just got landed on. We're not staying away from the bigger schools, and they're going to have to go on the road at North Texas, so this is another chance for an upset. I really hope the Mean Green come out on top here because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this or not yet, but they are flying me out to their first game, so I'll be right there in that stadium as one of the fans in the crowd. And I'm not entirely sure all the things I'll be doing yet, but I know I get to play a couple people in College Football 25. There are exciting things happening this year because of the amazing position you all have put me in. And I'm very thankful for all of you, for all the support, the subscribing, the liking on the videos. North Texas is in a tie game, by the way, with this much time left. And it's not much, especially when they're throwing it away. But if they manage to get into field goal range, they could avoid overtime, kick a field goal for the win. And we'll see what they do on 3rd and 10. It looks like they're just not going to have them. And on 3rd down, North Texas picks it up. I'm really hoping this gets to overtime 3 just because then they trade 2-point conversions back and forth. I feel like that would be pretty entertaining to see, but Oklahoma's forced a fumble and the Sooners would win with a touchdown, even though all they had to do was kick a field goal to get the win. They had a wide receiver go off with 4 touchdowns on 5 catches, and North Texas wasn't in this for very long. They've already been knocked out of Imperialism. We still have a long way to go. There's 130 teams left, and it seems like it's going to take about twice as long to film on this game compared to the last one. Going forward, these might be a special only only a couple per year, and the Longhorns have been landed on where they're attacking UTSA. We're gonna get to see one of the few domes in college football, and there's a chance that this is the first game that isn't close at the very end. It was about time that something wasn't a one-possession game with a minute left. So at least for now, Texas is technically back, but I do feel bad for CJ Baxter because I'm pretty sure he had a season-ending injury. At least the Longhorns will get to use him in this as they try to take over the state of Texas first. And with the addition of Sam Houston, there's 13 different teams in the state. I'm pretty sure that makes Texas the state with the most FBS programs. I was on the board though, and this arrow was close to touching Wisconsin, but it's gonna grace the tip of Minnesota. I love how realistic this game is. They've given them a 67 offense with an amazing defense, and we'll see how that unfolds here at Minnesota, where either team could come out on top. Well, I can't believe what I'm seeing, but with a minute left, we have just a 2-point game, and teams seem to be taking forever to draw up their plays, but if it works like it did here, that's fine. I'm really disappointed at how much clock is running off between each snap though, because I was so excited for this new game so we'd have some realistic imperialisms. Iowa's defense is going to force a fumble, they're picking it up, they're returning it for a touchdown, and Minnesota's gonna lose. We should still get some pretty realistic results outside of Iowa scoring 37 points, and that is not how the Gophers wanted to go out. Maybe the Hawkeyes had a lot of defensive touchdowns, their best receiver had 5 total yards, and I feel like they catch the most strays from me on this channel, so maybe some new college will after this next upcoming season. Michigan State, for example, had an offense that was almost as bad as Iowa's, but since they produced players like Kenneth Walker III, we can let it slide. Now we're headed to Indiana, where Ball State's attacking Purdue, and I'm pretty sure the Cardinals are tied for the worst team in the game. Purdue fans wouldn't be surprised if they lost this one though, because they go through it with their basketball team in the NCAA tournament every year. They're probably just relieved that they took care of business in this one, winning by 19, but I will give them credit for last year. Their team actually lived up to their expectations. They might actually be a good team in this imperialism. Hudson Card's solid, but he does have to deal with Notre Dame being right next door, so we could see them playing very soon. This wheel determines it all. You almost don't want your team to get landed on right now, but Ohio State should be fine. There's plenty of tiny MAC schools around them. Their first victim is Akron, who does get to host it, but they're also at a severe overall disadvantage. If they even want to stand a chance in this one, they're gonna have to play the best game in school history, and that's what Purdue did a couple of years ago, but they clearly just weren't capable of it. We all know that Judkins is super hard to stop. I can't blame them. And just looking at the location of some other schools in this area, Kent State's surrounded by colleges that they're probably not going to beat. Some teams just have better spawn points than others. Now we're headed to Arizona State, and that seems to be the furthest that we've made it out west so far. The arrow's going to point them back to New Mexico though to attack the Lobos, and this is a great chance for us to witness an upset. What did I say? With a minute 19 left, Arizona State's trailing by 7 to the Lobos, but they also have the ball, so they have a chance to respond. They're already at the 50-yard line, and now they're going to throw it out there, but it was almost picked, and the New Mexico DB might regret that in the future because they got a face mask on the next play. That puts Arizona State on the 26, where they're about to take it to the 10-yard line, and now they're just going to hand it on. We have seen so many turnovers at the end of these games, and this one is no different. The Lobos are going to pull off the upset, forcing the interception. And what a way for them to end this game, hitting the Heisman pose. These are the results that make imperialism so great. And of course, Bobby Arnold III deserved player of the game for that play. The Sun Devils thought they were going to get to expand their land with that matchup, but instead they've been fully eliminated. And with 125 teams, the college with the most land at this point is probably Iowa or New Mexico. And I know that Army's territory is probably super tiny. They're attacking up at Syracuse, come in at a significant disadvantage. The Orange are another team that